The day we've all been waiting for is finally here, as AEW and WBD have announced a brand new television rights deal that will keep AEW on TBS, TNT, and Warner properties for the next couple of years. The deal was officially announced, as reports have trickled over the past couple of weeks. Today, it was made official. We're going to take a look at the official report from Variety. We're going to break it down, talk about everything we know, the future of AEW pay-per-views, the future of Collision and Dynamite, and the future, or lack thereof, of AEW Rampage. Everything we know covered right here in this video. Be sure to smash that thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Okay, let's dive right in and talk about this news. It was rumored, as Tony Khan last night had a pretty big tweet that took the entire wrestling world by storm, that there would be a big announcement to kick off the 5-year anniversary edition of AEW Dynamite. That then led to further speculation as Andrew Zarian and others chimed in, saying that the big day is tomorrow. That is tweeting imminently with like a little hypnotized gif there that I thought was really funny. But we now know that the deal is official. Warner Brothers and All Elite Wrestling have announced the TV rights deal, and we're going to read from the Variety report that actually broke this news officially. So here it is: AEW to stream on Max following a new multi-year rights deal with Warner Bros. Discovery. And it goes on to say, AEW has officially signed a new multi-year multimedia rights deal with Warner Bros. Discovery. Financial terms of the deal have not been disclosed, but according to sources, the deal is valued upwards of $150 million per year when all elements are taken into account. Under the new deal, AEW shows like Dynamite and Collision will remain on TBS and TNT, but for the first time since its launch in 2019, AEW programming will stream live on Max simultaneously for U.S. subscribers and will be available to stream on demand starting January 2025. And then it goes on to have a quote from Tony Khan, which I will read in just a second. But there you see it right there. AEW Collision and Dynamite staying on TNT and TBS. And then they're also going to be simulcast on Max. That is an announcement, a detail that we have been waiting for. That is a note that I have said that this would be really big for them. If AEW Dynamite and Collision, with their live shows every week, are on demand on Max, and people can go back and watch them, people can watch them live, they're simulcast, that will not only take one element of criticism away from AEW, which from a PR perspective has definitely hurt them a little bit over the past couple of months, the question of their ratings being low and all that discourse, that's going to eliminate that discourse entirely. There will, of course, be a few bad actors who are going to say whatever they're going to say, but at the end of the day, it's not going to matter because we know for a fact that they're also going to be people streaming it on Max. As one of those people who wants to cut the cord, that is a major deal for me. Now, if we want to talk about the other part of this, which is the fact that it's going to be on demand, that means that next day rights, much like you have for properties like Family Guy or The Simpsons on Hulu, you're going to have the same principle apply here. AEW airs on Wednesday, then the next day it's not only simulcasting, but it's available right there for people who want to watch it on demand. And that, to me, speaks to like there's going to be a library. Now, the other thing to note about Dynamite and Collision here is that it looks like, it is also official that Dynamite will be remaining on Wednesdays, and then Collision will be staying on Saturdays as well. I was of the opinion that AEW should move Collision to another night. I still think that Saturdays is a bad night for wrestling television. I am very hardened in that idea. However, we are where we are. And unfortunately, that is not the case, at least for now. Now, I know everyone's looking at that $150 million number and it's like, what's going on? What's here? What's going on? Why is it so low, quote unquote? Because the number we had heard reported by Puck News and others was $170 million. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful had stated, he's not reported, I don't think this, but he has stated this, and again, it's a statement. This is not a official report, but from what we're hearing from people like Sean Ross Sapp, especially, is that when you kind of factor in other elements of this deal, it's kind of closer to that $170, $180 million number. And like, that is something to also take into account there, that, you know, this 150 could be for a few elements of the deal. There's probably still other things that maybe need to be hammered out, or there's another deal with Fox that could take place that's going to put this over the $200 million number. So regardless, though, $150 million. I always said my estimate for this deal was between $150 to $200 million a year. I thought that would be a very nice kind of ballpark number for them to have per year. And over a 3-4 year deal, that is definitely enough to help make them profitable. And it is great for that company. It is great for professional wrestling. And it's good for the wrestlers because now for AEW, of course, as I said before, this opens up budget. This opens up room. This opens up the wallet even more than it already was opened up for other wrestlers to get paid. And hell yeah, inflate the shit out of that market, baby. Let's go. Get these wrestlers paid. I don't care whether you're Swerve Strickland. I don't care whether you're, Smart Mark Sterling. I don't care whether you're damn Xavier, whoever you are. Everyone deserves to be paid a certain amount for putting their bodies on the line in the profession of professional wrestling, right? To say that someone's overpaid, to say all that, I don't like that discourse. I'm against it, quite frankly, and I think it's horrible when you consider the fact that like these guys are putting their bodies on the line in the way that they are night in, night out. So regardless, let's move on and talk about the rest of this report. Here's a quote from Tony Khan. We are honored to announce the extension of our incredible partnership with Warner Brothers Discovery, said AEW CEO, GM, and head of creative Tony Khan. This extension continues the tradition of iconic wrestling events broadcast on TBS and TNT, while also establishing a new legacy for AEW through weekly live streams on Max for years to come. We thank David Zaslav, Kathleen Finch, and everyone at WBD for their tireless support of All Elite Wrestling since its inception, as well as the AEW fans, talent, and staff that help make this possible. We need that Oxford comma there, Tony. The deal also includes enhanced distribution rights across social media, as well as potential for new AEW programming on linear and digital platforms. Furthermore, AEW live pay-per-views will be available on Max later in 2025 at a discounted price per event, with all marketing promotions of those events exclusively centered on Max. This is the other wrinkle that we definitely need to talk about. Before I do that, I do want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors over at SeatGeek. Guys, if you are headed to a wrestling event, whether it's next week or next year, you guys want to get $20 off your purchase, here's what you do. You first of all, you go in the link of this video, you click that link, you download the SeatGeek app, and then you sign up using the promo code REALTAKE. And what that does is get you $20 off your first purchase. $20 off your first purchase of tickets. And I know if you're a WWE fan right now and you're watching this, oh boy, are you going to need it. You're going to need that $20 considering some of these prices. So you guys want to save yourself a couple of bucks, maybe use that at the concession stand, factor that into your parking budget, whatever you want to do. $20 off using the code REALTAKE when you sign up and do your first purchase on SeatGeek. Again, click the link in the description. Use the promo code REALTAKE. It's right there. Basically, a free $20 right there. All you got to do is sign up and put that in for your first purchase. So that's the shill in me. Now let's go to the the analyst in me. Let's talk about this wrinkle about the AEW WBD Max portion. So the question was, is Max going to be the exclusive place for AEW pay-per-views? Is it going to be, included in like the 15, 20, whatever amount it is right now? I don't even know how much I'm paying for Max right now. That's kind of crazy. But is it included in the price for Max, or is it going to be a thing where you have to get Max and then you get it at a discounted rate? Well, we now know that it is indeed the discounted rate. They are essentially doing what the UFC does. For those of you who are wondering, UFC has a deal with ESPN Plus where their pay-per-views are on ESPN Plus. So you can sign up for that and you get those pay-per-views as a discounted rate than you would if you were going to another distributor. So that's kind of, I think, a median. And I don't know the exact details, but the theory in my mind would be something along the lines of AEW did not want to, stop doing, or AEW did not want to stop distributing to pay-per-views, not only because of, number one, the fact that there are markets in this country that don't have ease of access to, high-speed internet, and cable is still pretty popular in those regions. So that's probably a one wrinkle. The other part also is that I don't think that they want to sunset pay-per-views in general, because pay-per-views are a very profitable aspect of their business. Like, they sell 100,000 pay-per-views at least, at minimum, between 100,000 to 150,000 on average per pay-per-view. You do that like 10 times a year. That's a whole lot of money coming your way, even if it's just, your share of like $25 per pay-per-view. So for them, I think Warner would have to offer a massive amount of money for them to sunset pay-per-views completely and just have them as like specials on Max. Similar to what Peacock ended up doing for WWE. So obviously, that did not happen, but that's the direction that they are going in. I know it's a disappointment to many people out there, but it's honestly just a bit of a disappointment for me. I thought it would have been really good for their exposure, as I've said before. I think that one of the reasons why WWE is doing, so well is its popularity, is because it's so accessible. Like, you can watch Raw, you can watch SmackDown, like, a week or two afterwards. You can watch the pay-per-views, everything right there. So I think that's definitely a bit of a downer, but if we do end up getting the announcement that all previous AEW shows are going to Max, I think that could help alleviate it. And if after 2 weeks, pay-per-views end up on Max, I think that could be a good thing. So we'll see. The deal also includes enhanced distribution rights across social media. We already read that. What are you doing, Omer Q? Popularity on Variety. Here we go. Or popular on Variety. I can't read today, folks. Tony Khan and the entire AEW team have been incredible partners, and we are thrilled to strike this expanded agreement to deliver amazing new AEW content and stories to TNT, TBS, as well as bringing thrilling live action to Max for the first time, said Kathleen Finch, chairman and CEO of U.S. Networks for Warner Brothers Discovery. We are focused on creating fresh and authentic experiences for AEW's passionate and engaged fan base, while also introducing them to our growing lineup of high-action sports and entertainment at TNT and beyond. AEW flagship show Dynamite debuted on TNT in October 2019. The show currently ranks as Wednesday's #1 cable entertainment series among adults 18 to 49. Collision currently is currently in the top 5 in its Saturday time slot amongst both adults 18 to 49 and men 18 to 49. Then it goes on to list some AEW stars, and this is another quote from Warner Brothers Discovery. I don't think there's anything else, but obviously, big news, big time, big things happening for AEW. And for them, they have accomplished now something that, not many wrestling companies can ever say they have. Even WCW, if you remember, right? WCW did not get a cable deal off of necessarily their own merits. Like, they were owned by Warner Brothers Discovery, so it's like a very different situation. Or Warner at that point in time, excuse me. But TNA never did this. This is them, like, legitimately being, like, a cut above the rest outside of WWE. Like genuinely as not just as a wrestling company, as a brand. They were able to break through in one of the most monopolized markets of entertainment there is in professional wrestling. That is a major deal. And it is something that I think, is good. I am not one to be like, oh yeah, I stand for a company. And I still don't. But what this does do, and by having more companies, and I think there should be more, I would love for TNA to get to a point where they can get a deal. They won't probably ever get a deal as good as this, but a better deal on a better network that isn't Access. I would love for MLW to, use the money you got from that WWE settlement. It was I think $20 million. Use that money to help boost your product and in hopes of getting a legitimate deal. I think that this shows that there is a model that can work. I don't think that another company can kind of take more of that market share, because I don't think there's much of that market share left as far as being mainstream. But AEW was able to take some of that market share. That is insane. In the state of that pro wrestling was in just a couple of years ago, that is insane. And as far as where they will go and how they will grow, this deal was essential in determining that. I think that this will hopefully open up avenues for them, especially being on Max. And I know January 2025, if you have Max, AEW is going to be all over that thing. It's going to be everywhere. And, them being live too, you're going to see them. When they are live, they're going to probably be the first thing. If you're tuning in, you don't even watch wrestling. If you're tuning in to Max 8 p.m. on a Wednesday, you're going to see that little AEW thing. It's going to be right there. It's going to be accessible to a lot more people. And it is a good thing. So kudos, Tony Khan and the crew. They seem to have gotten a really good deal here. And I appreciate all the fans who have been sticking around while I've been reporting on this or talking about this. I don't report, again, talking about this, commentating about this, speculating, and breaking down all the big stories, guys. We're not done yet. As of this recording, we still have Dynamite. AEW is going to have this big announcement. Maybe they'll tell us stuff about the video library. Maybe, we'll have an announcement of Kenny Omega returning. Hell, maybe Shane McMahon will debut. It would be crazy. It would be insane. I'll probably be doing another video if that happens. But let me know in the comment section, though, guys. What do you think about this? What do you think this will do for the business? And what do you think AEW should do with the money that they just got? Let me know in the comments. Also, be sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released.